My wife just got me a raised bed for Christmas. We give gifts to each other based on our interests, and it's so funny to see how times have changed. I'm a fitness guy. I love working out. I love running. I love lifting. And usually our gifts to each other, like what my wife will give me, will be something to that. I just got a raised bed and I couldn't be more excited. I wish you guys could have seen my face on Christmas when I opened up my raised bed box. I was ecstatic. Never would have thought, and you never could, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you could never have told me that I would be excited to see a raised bed, or I would want a raised bed. But that's where we're at right now. I'm enjoying, like, the garden train. They went through my city. I jumped on and I'm not letting off. So basically, my wife, she's been gardening now for many, many years. I'm new to this. My wife's been doing it for many years. She started back in Miami. Yes, she's a Miami girl. And she started back in Miami with the beautiful weather. And now we're in Central Florida, and she has continued the garden. And it looks beautiful. And we're already, most of the seeds that she's planted is already coming up. And I'm sure in the spring and summer, we're gonna have a lot of food to eat. Very exciting. Me, I'm from up north, and I never got into gardening, never thought about gardening like that. My grandfather had a garden when I was a child growing up, so I was introduced to it. But my years, you know, as a teen and, you know, even my early adult years before I moved to Florida, I wasn't thinking about gardening, not to the slightest. Now, I mean, it is life. Like, it's go to the gym, get a workout in, come outside in the garden, you know. And I'm starting to notice that the garden is kind of turning into my workout on some days, because it's a lot of work. You know, the food forest, going around, digging holes, moving stuff, planting things. It's a lot of work. So I can see how somebody in these blue zone areas, and not even just blue zone areas, just how people, you know, everybody that you see on YouTube, or everybody that you know who's like true gardeners who really spend time in their backyard, they're probably extremely healthy, and they're probably extremely fit. And if they wanted to go train for a marathon or train for something else, they probably would have no problem, because if they're in their yard every single day, they have good stamina, good strength, good flexibility, and the most important thing, discipline. They are very disciplined, because it takes discipline to come out here every single day. Hot days, even hotter days, and some cold days in Florida, but in other places, probably cold days, even colder days, and then you get your hot days. That takes discipline. So most gardeners have some great discipline. But getting back to the raised beds, my wife, she got the raised bed for me. She bought me some seeds. I got some seeds myself, and now I'm trying to decide what I want to plant. I know that a lot of the brassicas that I wanted to plant, I probably should have got in the ground, I'm going to say in October. Help me out, gardeners, you guys know. So I'm going to have to see what I'm able to plant now. January is coming around, so I know we could still do some cold weather crops. But I promise you, it seems like when February 1st hits, it's like the first day of spring for Central and South Florida. That's how it feels to me, because the weather immediately takes an upturn, and, you know, we're like, every cold that you can think about is kind of like out the window after that. And then when March hits, you know, March is summer in Central and South Florida, might as well say. So yeah, so I want to see what I'm able to plant. I'm leaning more into like medicinal herbs, because my wife and I, we like to make teas, and I want to see what other, you know, healthy teas that I'm able to grow in the yard that will have some benefit for us health-wise. So I'm leaning towards that. Since my wife already has a beautiful vegetable garden, and she's growing a lot, I really don't want to grow things that she's already growing, because this is not, I'm not trying to compete with my wife in the garden, and I'm sure she's watching this, and I know she's probably thinking like, oh, he's trying to, no, I'm not trying to compete with my wife. She has the title, she has a beautiful garden, and it's feeding us, and it's going to really feed us in the spring and the summer when everything's just But I want to start planting some things to aid in our health in other ways. Some things that, you know, we might buy in supplements and I can just take care, like ashwagandha. Like my wife got me these ashwagandha seeds. Like, why not plant something like that? I think I have to wait maybe more towards like February, March to plant it. But, you know, medicinal herbs like that is what I'm leaning towards. Now, in a couple weeks, if I show you the raised bed and it's nothing like that, don't kill me. You know, I'm planting what we're able to. I still want to plant what I should plant that's going to grow. I want some early wins in my first time planting things in a raised bed. So I'm looking for quick wins. I'm looking for things that I should be planting, things that are easy to grow, and things that's for, you know, just going to make me happy to see that seed produce something, and I'm going to start seeing things pop up through the soil. So I'm looking for early wins. I'm new at this, and it's so many other YouTubers that I watch that has really, really inspired me to want to do raised bed gardening and just start growing some vegetables and some herbs. Still going to do my fruit trees. Matter of fact, I just went out and got some more moringa trees. I feel you can never have enough moringa. We have two. We have one that's I'm gonna say about 4 feet now, 5 feet tall. And we have another that's just a baby, maybe like a foot tall. So our trees are very far from mature, but the one that's 5 feet tall, we're already making teas, you know, just about daily on it. So I want to get a few more moringa trees, which I went out and got. That's going to be sent here pretty soon. And I want to put those around the yard. I want to keep some in pots as well. That's another thing. So I just thought about it. I'm like, I want to, like, with the trees that we use a lot, since we do have hurricanes, and a lot of times our trees do break. And I made so many videos. You guys can go watch them, how to hurricane proof your yard, what I did with the hurricane, how I was able to secure my plants, secure my trees. But the reality is, you know, you're going to lose some trees. Like, even if you secure it the best you can and you're using the best equipment that money can buy, which I can't afford. So the way I'm securing trees is probably not the ideal, but it works. 90% of our yard after every hurricane is doing, you know, we only lose about 10%, maybe not even 10%. You know, I'm gonna say 95%. But you're gonna lose something, and I don't want to lose the trees that we use the most and that we need. So I'm gonna start. And I'm starting with moringa. I'm gonna keep some in pots. So when hurricane season come, I can bring those inside or bring them closer to the house. So if we do lose the tree, I'm able to quickly put those in the ground and, you know, and not have any fear that we're not gonna be able to eat from that tree. So we have a couple trees now that I'm like, you know, let me propagate some of these and get these into some pots, because just for safety, in case that tree breaks or whatever come next hurricane season. So that's just a thought I had going off of that. You know, maybe, you know, you guys do the same, or maybe, you know, maybe that might help out somebody else that's in Florida. Like, you know, let's have backups to the trees we love and keep them in pots. And if they do fall, we can just put them in the ground, and hey, you know, we're not going to be so upset. But that's just that. Getting back to the raised beds, I'm just really deciding what I want to plant. So I'm excited. I'm going to take all of you on the ride with me. I'm on the gardening train. I just want to turn our backyard into just a nice garden, nice food for us. I just want to feed my family, and not just the family that's living within my walls. I want to feed my family from all over. I want to be able to send packages to my family, and they open it up and it's fruits, vegetables, herbs. Just, you know, I want to be able to do that, and I want to be able to, you know, just walk down the street and take things to my neighbors and be like, here you go, you know. And it's, you know, it's just full, like almost like they went grocery shopping and I'm dropping off grocery bags, and that brings joy to me, and it makes me happy just to be able to to give what I grow to the people I care about, to my neighbors, to friends, and to, you know, you guys as well. You know, if you guys, you know, might send me a message, hit me up, hey, I can't find this in my area, and if I have it in abundance, if I have enough, I wouldn't mind sending it to you. That's just how I am. So yeah, so starting with the raised bed. Excuse me, I'm excited, and let's go from here. Well, thank you for watching this. You know, please leave me some comments. Let me know how you feel about raised beds. Give me some tips. I'm always taking tips. Like I said, I am new to this, so I would take any advice that any of you have that's been gardening for a while. Please send me the advice. And if you live in Central to South Florida and, you know, you've been doing raised bed gardening or gardening in general, please drop your comments. Let me know what I should be planting. Things, you know, that I should look out for. I would love that. Just please let me know. Let me know. I'm trying to get this right. Well, not right. I'm just trying to do it in the best way I can. It's going to save me the most amount of money that I can, you know, possibly, without making errors, so I don't have to keep redoing it or pulling things up or whatnot. So help me out, y'all. And thank you for watching again. And I'll see you guys in the next video.